variations in terms of nutrients, requirements, the soil content, and all that. So,
and every region is different. From one region
even
to
just
another.
your farm alone.
Yeah. One farm to the other.
Yes, one farm to the other, one piece of land to the other is different. So with precision agriculture, it can read for you, the satellites, the drones can map out for you the different sections of your land and what they require. And so when you're planting or plowing, there are these driverless tractors or tractors that have gadgets that can read for you, and when you're using your planter, the fertilizer will go exactly the amount that is required in that particular area. If it is nitrogen, the amount of nitrogen required for that area will go to that area.
So there is no wastage.
There is no wastage.
There is no underutilization.
It will not even repeat it. Even when it is spraying for pests and diseases, the sprays go to where it is required. That is precision agriculture. So there is no wastage. There is savings, and you can actually go to the bank and tell them, I am expecting this number of bags of maize. Give me a loan.
Sure?
Yes, you're sure. That is precision agriculture. And that is where use of drones comes in, use of... nowadays, you don't even... You know, like the youth now, they fear going to the farm. You don't have to fear going to the farm because there are tractors that are driverless, you know. So they just use the computers and all that, and the tractors just do the job. You can control your tractor from the house using your phone or your computer. That's part of precision agriculture.
Okay.
Yes.
I like, the concept that you have described for us, because of course even right now we are living in a very digital world. Everything is going digital. We see banks have been automated. Like every sector is trying to bring in some sort of technology to make work easier. And I like the fact that even agriculture is looked at as one of those areas that technology can actually become a problem solver. But by describing things like drones, like driverless trucks, I mean, are we there yet? Is it realistic? If I may just, put it directly like that, is it realistic? Have we seen that in some farms today? Yeah,
definitely, it is realistic. It is not rocket science anymore. We have farmers, like we have a farmer in Eldoret called George Kili. He's already using that, and his farms are really. George Kili has been a really hard-working farmer. He started his farm with getting 18 bags of maize. The soil was really bad, so he's built it to about 30. But now when he's used digital agriculture, it has moved to 40 to 50 bags per acre. So you can see in an acre he's already making like 10 to 20 bags on top without really adding anything, and it's because of improving using digital agriculture. There are many other farmers doing that, but I know your concern is whether the small-scale farmer can find his way there.
I will use a good example, something like a drone. A drone is, okay, it's been there for a while, but still we have a long way until it is fully accepted and even available and affordable for us to use even in fields like media. So I'm trying to imagine that farmer somewhere in some rural area somewhere, and they desire, in fact, they want to improve the kind of work they do. But then will they get to that level? Will they manage to bring that kind of digital setup in their farm somewhere? How do you make that work?
One thing, thankfully drones have been approved because they were not approved before. They are getting cheaper and more affordable. But I'm not going to say that we are there yet. But one thing I can challenge you is that the mobile phone, when it came to Kenya, how many people could afford it?
Very few people.
It was very expensive.
That's true.
And within a very short time, when things were changed, the government came in and all that. Everybody, almost almost everybody has a phone. But that is not even the thing. There are many other ways that small-scale farmers are benefiting from digital agriculture. For example, Maasai's, pastoralists. There are apps which they no longer have to walk very far looking for pasture. Because there are apps which can tell them where the pasture is. So they just take the animals to where that pasture is, so they don't waste time, the animals don't suffer on the way. That is just one example. We have examples of, for example, soil testers. You see, like soil testing has been really a cumbersome thing. It takes, you test your soil from different areas of the field, then send your sample to Nairobi from wherever you are. It is tested for 2 weeks, then you get your sample. So farmers were not really excited about that. Now
that process,
there's a new digital equipment, a handheld equipment. You just put it in the soil, and it tests for the soil. Within 2 hours, you have your answer.
Okay.
That is already cutting time, and it's a solution for most small-scale farmers, because even though it is maybe about 80K, I can't remember right now, but it could be bought by someone who can do contracts for
other farmers. Let me take you back a bit. You talked about embracing technology in agriculture as a simple way of putting digital farming.
Yes.
Talk to us about what is required for us to get there. How do we then, prepare our farmers, prepare our environments in terms of information, in terms of cost, in terms of even the knowledge of the technical know-how of using this equipment, putting the farmer in mind. What is it that we need to do to make sure that we are ready for that era, and we are actually doing it, and we are actually sustaining digital farming in our country?
One of the ways is through us, media. Smart Farmer, we've been trying our level best to do this, because we've been telling farmers about how they can use their phones to test the crops, whether they have this. KBC can do the same, talk to the farmers about that. The government also, who is now interested, they are really interested in this event we are coming up with, because they see there's an opportunity to boost food security, the big four agenda. So with government intervention and excitement and support, I feel that we'll go a long way in this, in boosting digital agriculture, because once they put their pen to it and people get to hear about it more, it will help. And shows like the one we want to host, the East African Digital Farmers Conference and Exhibition, which we are hosting on Tuesday to Thursday, is one of the ways of disseminating that information about digital agriculture, because we are bringing together stakeholders who have these gadgets, they have the apps, they have the knowledge. We are bringing together people to a conference to discuss, to come up with policy, to come up with ideas of how to disseminate this information. When we use these methods like that, farmers are going to come and start looking around, and the word will get around. Word will go down and the ground, and people say, wow, you mean we can do this? You mean we can actually get market using our phones? Because one of the challenges farmers also have.
I was about to go there. A farmer who could be watching this morning, some of the challenges our farmers are facing today include, lack of market. Just yesterday on the news, we saw the issue of cartels being raised, and there is the issue of unpredictable weather patterns. Farmers today do not even know when to plant, when not to plant. There's the issue of very high cost of farm inputs that is facing farmers. The crops are very, like you toil for so many months, but then when you go to the market, if you're lucky to find one, the cost that the people want to buy your products for is very low. You do not get the money back. So these are the challenges that a day-to-day farmer is dealing with. And I wanted to ask, how is digital farming, digital agriculture going to solve these problems for this farmer who is battling all this?
Now, there are so many things that digital agriculture can do. For example, markets. Digital agriculture is bridging the market. It is taking farmers to the market, because there are so many online platforms that offer markets for farmers. You have your phone, you discover these markets, and that's why we are bringing people there, so that they can show the farmers what they have. You got your phone and you look for the markets. They are there available. You go to your computer, you find them available. That is one way that digital agriculture is bridging market information. Because before, where would you get this market? You just know of Karioko market or whatever, but
or you go manually asking who needs your product.
Now you can just go and look for a market, even export market. Any farmer from the ground with your phone. I'm even urging farmers, please get smartphones, even the cheapest smartphone. It will take you far. Also, you're asking about weather. digital agriculture is really helpful in that sense, because it can, I told you about precision agriculture. Now there's also, you can tell weather, digital agriculture can enable you to tell weather within 1 kilometer radius. You see, like the George Kelly farm, they have that weather.
The one in Eldoret?
Yes, they have a gadget that that can tell them their weather anytime. So if
they can know when it's going to rain?
Yes, within a kilometer radius.
Okay.
And they can, so you can project with these weather patterns with digital agriculture. It goes right down to the ground. You can project, yeah, and know when it's going to rain, when it's not going to rain. Should I harvest today? Should I not? Is there going to be sun? That kind of thing. Maybe you want to know more about like livestock.
Yeah.
Yeah, livestock. There are things like digital agriculture. With digital agriculture, you can individualize your animals. It can tell you, there are these collars that they wear. It can tell you when the animal is sick, when the animal is due, when the animal is, if there's anything about to happen. It will tell you.
I saw something on the news recently.
Yeah.
A community, they are pastoralists, and there was this new device that was, that came in, and you could put it on your animal and know. It was like a way of curbing people stealing each other's livestock, and you can track where your livestock is. I don't know, is that part of digital farming?
It is part of digital farming, because you can track your animal, know where it is, know where they've gone. In fact, you may not need even to herd, because if your animals have those trackers, you let them go, and
so you don't need.
Yeah.
One disadvantage though is that going forward, a lot of people are going to lose their jobs.
Not really, not really.
Because if you're talking about driverless trucks, you're talking about, the spraying is done manually, and we have people who are doing it. Now we are talking about drones doing the spraying of the farms. We're talking about, you don't need like somebody to take your animals to look for pasture. You can just release them to go. Is it, people are not going to lose their jobs?
I don't think in the long run people lose their jobs, because there are many other opportunities that they can get into.
All right.
This just facilitates the boosting of productivity and sustainability, and it helps more people get educated. They go to school, like those ones, instead of herding, they are going to go to school. It
I
helps
like how
more.
you're looking at it, giving people hope.
Oh yes, it's not just.
Yeah, let me. I'm taking you a bit fast because of time.
Yeah.
Let me take you back and look at how Smart Farmer has been able to help. You shared with me earlier that a larger percentage of our farmers now have gone to school and they understand some basics about how these things work. But still there are some farmers who've not had the privilege to go to school. Some do not even understand most of this information presented in these magazines and these conferences and these upcoming events. How have you been able to, reach out to this population? What are you doing to make sure that this very good information gets to them in a language and in a manner, in a format that they can relate to as farmers?
Okay, let me be honest. You can't be able to reach everyone.
Yeah.
So the people like now, the sons I was talking about, the sons and daughters, we're even hoping to go to schools so that they take this information back to their parents. They can go and grow those crops. They can go and teach their parents. I can't say that we have been able to reach too far, but we have a project that we are working on, supported by AGRA through ACF. It's called Taking the Smart Farmer Message to the Grassroots, so that we can go as far as possible. And we plan to meet the chiefs and to meet as far as we can go, so that we can talk to them. We go and meet farmers on the ground and have some barazas and workshops. Yeah,
I like that, because that again now will take the message home.
Yes.
Because there are farmers who want to be part of this, but there is that lack of information based on how the information is presented.
Yeah.
So I like that approach. Let's look at, from where you sit, what do you think are some of the most pressing issues, some of the biggest challenges that our agriculture today is facing? Because we are talking about food security as a very big challenge in our country. Why are we at that place as a country?
We've been having challenges with climate change. We're having, like right now, what has been happening? Floods. You don't expect it. Then drought. So we've been having changing climate. We're having high input costs, which farmers are having problems with. Our maize farmers, you can see what's happening. They have a lot of maize, but there's maize coming in, and so they're not able to sell. We're having maybe politics and policies that are not working for the farmers. So our farmers have been having a lot of challenges, and also lack of markets. You see, that's the reason why we are also trying to bridge this gap, because lack of markets. You grow cabbage here. There's so much cabbage this side in Kiambu, and then in the other side there's no cabbage, but there's no bridging. So this side the cabbage gets wasted. The other side people lack the food.
We saw that problem with tomatoes just the other day.
Even milk gets poured. So market linkage is a really big issue in Kenya that needs to be sealed and sorted. And also productivity. We need to improve our productivity so that, as well as storage, post-harvest storage, we need to really ensure, because we harvest and then it gets lost. We have a lot of losses. We lose 30% of our produce. So in fact, digital agriculture can help in that also. As we go along, there are digital shelves. There are so many things that digital agriculture can help in. So these challenges our farmers are facing, we urge the government to continue finding ways to sort them out.
All right. Thank you so much for coming and opening our eyes on this particular issue. As we bring this to a close, probably your final remarks, what's the way forward? What do you wish a farmer out there who is watching, to take home from this conversation?
Would you allow me to talk about the event again?
Yeah, you can tell us.
So we are having our event, East African Digital Farmers Conference and Exhibition, next week on, I'm repeating this, on 29th to 31st. Our aim is to open up the space, the digital space. We want our farmers to understand this. They'll know more, much more from the show than I've said, because the experts are there. They're going to provide them with all this information. And we're inviting all our farmers. The event is going to be at Calro Loresho here in Nairobi. And we are partnering with Calro Loresho, a smart farmer, to bring this event. So we're inviting everybody. And we would like to urge that, to go to your question, that I want to encourage everyone that farming is a good agribusiness. Do it as a business.
Even for the young people.
It is, in fact, digital agriculture brings the cool to farming. Yes? Farming as an agribusiness is the way to go, because we need to feed this 60 million Kenyans coming up in 2030, and 9.6 billion people. We need to feed them. And farming well done, smart farming, you do it right, you get your money.
All right.
So people should not shy away from it. It's not a dirty job, it's a wonderful job.
All right. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And I wish we had more time to talk about more issues, but today we were just very biased on explaining what digital farming is all about. And I hope by the end of this conversation, now you have a clue of what it is all about. It's all about bringing technology to this very important sector in our economy, that is agriculture. And the way forward has been said. In case you're interested in learning more, she said there is an upcoming conference that you can be able to be part of. My name is Serfine Achieng. I will be taking a very short break. We are coming right up with more on this particular program. Remember, it's Entertainment Thursday, so I assure you, what a way to start your weekend. Stay with us. We will not let you down. We take that break now.